In a green, lush valley in the heart of Africa, a tiny village nestled among rolling hills. The people there were happy, and their lives were filled with laughter and hard work. In this village lived a small, white goat. He wasn't bigger or stronger than any other goat, but he had a secret gift. A gift so special, it was whispered about in the evening winds. This little goat could sing. His voice was not the usual bleat of a goat. Oh no, it was a melody, pure and sweet, like the sound of a silver flute carried on a gentle breeze. It was like the chirping of 1,000 birds at dawn and the soft hum of the river as it flowed over smooth stones. When the little goat sang, the world seemed to hold its breath to listen. The busy weaver birds would stop their chatter, the monkeys would pause in their treetop games, and even the proud lion would lie down, its heart softened by the tune. The little goat was shy. He sang only when he thought no one was listening, usually in the quiet of the early morning or as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. One evening, a young girl named Adana was fetching water from the river. As she walked back, a magical sound floated through the air. She followed it, her feet light and quiet, until she found the source. There, standing on a small rock, was the little white goat, his head tilted back, pouring his heart out in song. Adana was mesmerized. She stayed hidden, not wanting to frighten him, and listened until the last note faded into the twilight. The next day, Adana couldn't keep the secret. She told her parents, who told their neighbors, and soon the whole village was buzzing with the news of the singing goat. At first, no one believed her. A singing goat? Adana, are you sure you weren't dreaming? But Adana was certain. You have to hear it, she insisted. It's the most beautiful sound in the world. That evening, the entire village, full of curiosity, crept quietly towards the river. They hid behind bushes and trees, waiting. He hopped onto his favorite rock, took a deep breath, and began to sing. A collective gasp went through the crowd. It was true. The song was more beautiful than anything they had ever heard. It filled their hearts with a strange, wonderful joy. It spoke of sunny days, cool rains, and the love of family. From that day on, the little goat became the village's treasure. They decided that such a special gift deserved a special place. The village elders gathered and decided to build a small, beautiful shrine for him in the center of the village. They used the finest mud and thatched the roof with the softest grasses. They decorated it with colorful beads and smooth, white river stones. The little goat, gentle and trusting, was led to his new home. And every evening, as the villagers finished their work, they would gather around the shrine. The little goat would stand at the entrance and sing for them. His music brought peace to the village. Worries melted away, arguments ceased, and a deep sense of harmony settled over everyone. People from neighboring villages heard about the singing goat and traveled for days just to hear his melody. The village became famous, a place of peace and wonder. But as time went on, things began to change. The goat's fame grew, and with it, so did human greed and pride. The village chief was the first to see an opportunity. "This goat is a gift from the ancestors," he declared. "His song is powerful. We should use it to make our village wealthy. We will charge visitors to hear him sing. Our village will become the richest in the land." The head merchant disagreed. "No, chief. Wealth is fleeting. His song has a different power. We should use it to make our warriors the strongest. Before they go into any contest or hunt, they will listen to the goat's song. It will fill them with courage and make them invincible." Then, the village's chief farmer spoke up. "You are both wrong," he said, his voice firm. "The goat's song has power over nature. Don't you see how the crops flourish and the rains fall gently since he started singing? We should make him sing to the fields every morning to guarantee a bountiful harvest year after year. We will never know hunger again." Soon, the entire village was divided. People started to argue. The chief's followers shouted about gold and riches. The merchant's supporters boasted about strength and power. The farmer's friends insisted on food and prosperity. The arguments grew louder and more heated each day. The once peaceful gatherings around the shrine became noisy and full of anger. "He will sing for wealth. No, for power. No, for the harvest." The friendly smiles were replaced with scowls. Neighbors who had shared meals for years now turned their backs on each other. The harmony of the village was shattered. Amidst all this noise and conflict stood the little shrine. And inside, the little white goat trembled. He could feel the anger, and the greed swirling around him like a bitter storm. The air, once filled with love and appreciation, was now thick with tension. One evening, the villagers gathered as usual, not for the joy of the music, but to see whose side the goat would take. The chief, the merchant, and the farmer all stood at the front, each demanding that the goats sing for their purpose. "Sing for gold, little goat," commanded the chief. "Sing for strength," bellowed the merchant. "Sing for our crops," pleaded the farmer. The crowd behind them echoed their demands, a chaotic chorus of selfish desires. The little goat looked out at the angry, shouting faces. These were the same people who had once listened with quiet wonder. Now, their eyes were hard, and their voices were harsh. His gentle heart was filled with sadness and fear. He opened his mouth, but no sound came out. Not a single note. Only a soft, frightened bleat. He tried again, but the beautiful melody was gone. The song, born of peace and joy, could not live in a house of anger and greed. Silence fell over the crowd, a heavy, disappointed silence. They stared at the goat, then at each other. Their shouting had driven the music away. The goat, seeing his chance, slipped out of the shrine and ran. He ran away from the village, away from the arguments and the demands, back towards the quiet wilderness where he could be just a goat once more. The villagers were left standing in the silence. The shrine was empty. The song was gone. In the days that followed, a deep sadness fell over the village. Without the goat's song, the old worries and arguments returned, now tinged with regret. The joy was gone. They realized what they had lost. It wasn't just a song. It was the peace, the unity, and the simple happiness the song had brought them. Little Adana, who had first discovered the goat, was heartbroken. One evening, she went to the empty shrine and began to sing. It wasn't a magical song like the goat's, but a simple, quiet tune from her heart. A song of apology. She sang about how they missed the goat and how sorry they were for their selfishness. One by one, hearing her small, brave voice, the villagers came and joined her. The chief, the merchant, the farmer, everyone. They sang together, their voices blending not in demand, but in shared regret and a longing for harmony. They understood their mistake. The goat's gift was not something to be used, but something to be cherished. It thrived on kindness and unity, and it withered in the face of greed and conflict. They never saw the little white goat again. Some say he found a new, hidden valley where the air was always peaceful. But the villagers never forgot his lesson. They learned that the greatest gifts, whether it's a beautiful song or the friendship of a neighbor, can only flourish when they are protected with kindness and harmony. They rebuilt their community, not on pride or greed, but on the simple, powerful memory of a song that once made their village a place of peace. And in that, they found a different, more lasting kind of magic. Remember that the best things in life are meant to be shared with love and respect.